guys, it's Kales, and today I'm coming at you with the Disney book tag. This was very newly created by Katie-tastic and hasn't really circulated yet because she only tagged a couple people. And since I'm new to this, I'm still gonna do my own tag because I want to, and I think this one's fun, and it gives me an opportunity to tell you guys about books that I don't know that you've necessarily heard of or thought about in this particular manner. Plus, I love Disney. Like a lot. Here goes nothing. So how this tag works is there's a list of Disney movies and something in the Disney movie has to relate to a book that you pick. Let's get this started, shall we? The first Disney movie is The Little Mermaid. Find a book where a character is out of their element, aka a fish out of water. Get it? The book that I chose for this was Life of Pi by Jan Martel. Life of Pi centers around this boy named Pi Piscine Patel. His real name's Piscine, but in order to not be called Pissing, he calls himself Pi. His family has a zoo in India that they're trying to get to Canada, and unfortunately, the whole ship sinks. Yeah. The only survivors are Pi, Richard Parker, who's a 250-pound Bengal tiger, an orangutan, a zebra with a broken leg, and a hyena. It's a wonderful metafiction book that was turned into an excellent movie, which is a really good adaptation of it. And I picked this one because Pi is most certainly out of his element because he's thrown into the middle of the ocean in a lifeboat with a 250-pound Bengal tiger. That's not out of your element. I don't know what is. If that is your element, I don't really know what to say to that. The next movie is Cinderella. Find a character that goes through a major transformation. This one wasn't too terribly hard for me to pick. Instantly the first name that came to my head was Harry Dresden in the Dresden Files, and this specific book I'm thinking of I don't actually own. I'm still working on my collection of this, but the specific book where he goes through all these major transformations is in the one called Changes. Understandable, there's a lot of transformations in that book, and once that book ends, nothing is quite ever the same again for Harry Dresden, who, if you're wondering, is a wizard detective in Chicago and goes through many adventures. There's several books in the series. I think this is what, 15? 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 15, and there's going to be 25 total. It's amazing and wonderful and some of the best world building I have ever seen. The next movie on this list is Snow White. Find a book or series with an eclectic cast of characters. My choice for this one is a lot of fun. It's Heist Society by Ali Carter. Heist Society is about a group of teenage thieves that have grown up because their family is a family of thieves, and they're all hilarious and funny, and Ali Carter writes some of the best secondary characters I've ever read about in my life. I want to befriend all of them, and I think they're wonderful. And this whole series, there's 3 books out right now, is one for the read and that's laugh out loud funny, really cute, really cheeky, really enjoyable. Next movie, we have Sleeping Beauty. Find a book that puts you to sleep. This is not that hard. Generally for me, a book that put me to sleep and that's so boring that I just didn't want to read it anymore, Allegiant by Veronica Roth. This book was one of the worst conclusions to a series ever, and the fact that it kept going back and forth between For and Tris, understandable because of the ending as to why she had to do that, but it wasn't intriguing enough, and it was so boring a lot of the time, and I just lost all of the caring about these people because the world became too complicated and not a lot was happening. Ugh. I didn't like this book that much because I was like, I don't want to read you. You bore me. Next movie, we have The Lion King. Find a book where a character had a traumatic event in childhood. This was not difficult. There's a lot I could have picked from. Like a lot. Almost any book. I feel like it's a requirement for a YA novel to have a traumatic event in childhood. I tried to pick something different that not a lot of people would have picked. This was not the first thing that came to mind, but when I scoured my shelves thinking of it, I finally came up with Paper Towns by John Green. Paper Towns is rather traumatic at the beginning, and this is not a spoiler, but the 2 main characters meet by finding a dead body in their park. They're like 6, 5, 7, 10, something. They're young, and both Margot and Q find this dead body in their neighborhood, and it kind of sets them off on this journey, specifically Q with this obsession with Margot Roth Spiegelman. I would say it's a good inciting incident and really traumatic. Next, we have Beauty and the Beast, one of my favorite Disney movies. Beauty and the Beast. Find a beast of a book that intimidated you but that you ended up loving. This one I had to think about for a little while too. Afterworlds by Scott Westerfield. This book is really thick. It's like over 600 pages. It's a really also very heavy, big book. Don't drop it. Okay. Reasoning for that is because it is a book of, it's like 2 books in one. You get like 2 for the price of 1 with this one because it's about a writer, teenage writer writing a book in New York, and then you get to read the book that she wrote. I don't know if this is a standalone or not. Part of me really wants to see what happens to some of these characters, but I was really satisfied with how it is. This one is a great addition to his collection of works. Next we have Aladdin. Find a character who gets their wish for better or for worse. Instantly I thought of Thief Lord by Cornelia Funk. This book, it follows 2 orphan boys who go to Venice. Turned into a really awful movie. Don't see the movie, read the book. It's one of my absolute favorite joys, plus I just love Venice in general. I can't give too much away because it's kind of a spoiler, but one of the people that the twin boys meet has a specific desire. Just read this book. It should be a classic. Next is Mulan. Find a book where a character pretends to be what they are not. City of Masks by Mary Hoffman, which also takes place in a Venice. Well, it's like a pseudo-Venice, which is why I hesitate saying that. But in this book, we follow Lucien, who is a boy from England who somehow gets transported to Thalia, which is this fantastical, magical version of Italy during the Renaissance. And in that time, he meets Ariana, who during that time pretends to be a boy so that she can be a gondola driver, boatman, something. Yes, lots of things happen and you meet the Stravagante, and it's a fantastic first book in a fantastic series. Second to last, we have Toy Story. Find a book or series where you wish the characters were real. Okay, I really didn't want to do a tag video with this book in it again, but it's really hard for me not to want anyone from the Harry Potter series to be real. I just want this world and these characters to be real. And finally, the last Disney movie is Disney Descendants, which is why this tag was made, because there's a new Disney Channel original movie being made based off of a book. It's where the Disney villains have all been banished to an island and they have children, and the book is about their children, as is the movie. So the question associated with this is, who is your favorite morally ambiguous character? I ended up picking almost all of the characters from Rooms by Lauren Oliver, and these characters are messed up. Oh, jeez, man. This book centers around a family who has to go clean out the house of their father, and it's told from the perspective of 2 ghosts that live in the house, and the ghosts are messed up in their own right, man. Whew! Great, excellent writing, excellent voice, but these characters, like, you don't know whether or not you want to root for them because there's just some bad blood there. Really fascinating book about family and life and history. I highly recommend it. So there you have it. That is my Disney book tag, and yes, believe it or not, I'm actually gonna tag some people. So hopefully they'll be watching. If not, I'll like tag them on Facebook or something. But I would love it if my friend Marcy Swan could do it on her book blog. I would love it if my fellow reader friends Megan Duff and Ashley Stern could do it. Anybody else who wants to do it too, go for it. Please do. I would love to see what your guys' opinions are on this tag. That's about it. Okay, I'm gonna go. Until next time, guys, bye! Oh, it's gonna have to communicate with the battery pack.